Hi everybody, welcome back to Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019, and in this video I want to be talking about a beginner's guide to ground war. We're going to be in Tavorsk district, the city ground war map, and we're going to be talking about using the what I call the Recon strategy. So the idea with the Recon strategy is that it's your job to capture the two flags and defend the two flags that are closest to the enemy spawns. In this case it's A and B. And the reason why you do this is it helps to keep the enemy off balance, because as they're trying to push forward to capture your, the neutral flags in the middle and then your flag closest to your spawn, you're piling in to their home spawn, so they've got to keep coming back, and it just breaks up their rhythm. And it's really fun as well, especially on Tavorsk, because the problem with Tavorsk is you've got all those big high rises with snipers just sitting on top and firing down, and often the way they're looking is towards your spawn. The enemy snipers are looking towards your spawn, so by doing this sort of technique you're kind of staying out of their eyesight quite a lot as well. It involves a lot of flanking around, being a little bit sneaky, and you tend to avoid the thick of the action. And again, the whole point is always, if you're always thinking about the enemy when they're coming in and they're capturing flags, will be looking towards your spawn. They're always moving away from their spawn to your spawn. So if you can get round the sides and round the back and take them from the other angle where they might not be looking, that could be really cool. And then throughout the match, all you do, so in this case the flags, you'll see the gameplay, and I'll just play the gameplay in a minute. It's just A and B. I'm just constantly on A and B, defending those two flags, going back to try and capture them, and doing that. Now it turns out to be a very close game, which we win but I find that giving yourself a strategy in ground war, it helps me to enjoy the game much more. And for me, ground war is just that. It's all about fun. You're in this amazing cinematic experience where your influence over the overall result of the game, I suppose if you manage to call in a chopper gunner or something like that, you could make a difference by killing lots of enemies, but you don't make that much difference, I don't think, as an individual, or I don't anyway. But by giving yourself an objective to do, you enjoy the game much more, especially in Tavorsk, where there's lots of snipers, and it's very easy to get stuck in that kind of rut of just spawning at your home flag and then trying to get up to the middle flags and just getting shot all the time. And it's not fun at all. So let's talk about a typical loadout that you might want to use to do this. The first thing actually we'll look at is the field upgrades. Now, in this kind of recon role, I call it recon because you're in advance of all your teammates, the tactical insertion is very important. What the tactical insertion does, it sets the point where you'll spawn in when you die the next time once, but it does recharge pretty quick. So when you get to where you want to be, by the A or the B flag or the D or the E flag, somewhere safe off to the side, just pop it when it's available and leave it there. And then when you die, you'll respawn there. Just remember though, you need to pop it again to die if you die again. But while you're alive, that respawn point will always be there. It doesn't wear out or anything like that, as far as I know. Obviously people can destroy it though, they can shoot it, and it's very useful for staying in the thick of the action and being able to spawn in a non-obvious place, especially if you're having trouble taking the flags closest to the enemy positions, because with this, even if you die, you can respawn there and you can be harassing them and slowing them down, and generally being a nuisance. So that's the first thing. Kill streaks, just choose what works for you. I don't stay alive for that long, so I just choose the lowest ones that work for me. And then the loadout, I mean, this is an aggressive play. This, you're going to be in situations where you're getting into gunfights, hopefully with not too many enemies. So I think you will probably want to use, your favourite automatic gun. In my case, of course, it's the M4. And I've got it set up just like I like it, with the 1mW laser for hipfire accuracy, the 3.5 times sight, because hell, I just like the way the game looks when I look through that sight, and it helps me get headshots and chest shots. Stippled grip tape, for the fast ADS, sleight of hand for fast reload, and the Merc foregrip for recoil control and hipfire accuracy. Now, one thing you may consider changing, actually, using this setup, is sleight of hand, and you may consider changing it to fully loaded. The reason for that is it's very easy in ground war to run out of ammunition because you're blatting at targets who may be quite a long way away with an assault rifle, and you can burn through your ammo. And if the flags haven't been captured, it's not always that easy to get inside and get to the ammo crates. I mean, if you didn't know already, round each flag somewhere there will be an ammo stash that you can then reload on. But if you haven't captured the flag yet, it's difficult to get at it. Once the flags have captured, you can just jump in and do it, but maybe consider going with fully loaded. Also, with ground war, it's a lot more dangerous to try and run over to enemies that you've shot to pick up their ammo. But I mean, the beauty with running the M4 is that everybody's running M4s, so there tends to be dead bodies all over the place where you can pick up some ammo. We go with the pillar launcher, or the peeler launcher, to take out UAVs, or we can do our bit against more dangerous score streaks like the chopper gunners or the support helicopters, or obviously armour. It's very important that we take on the armour, especially when we're sort of around the A flag, because we can stop that armour from funneling down to the neutral flags to take on, you know, where the majority of our players will be. So use something like the pillar. And then if you take your lethal as thermite, because thermite is very good at taking out enemy tanks. 2 of those will really damage a tank very badly, and if you follow it up with a rocket launcher or vice versa, or just shoot at the tank, often you'll be able to blow it up. And to go along with that, EOD for explosive damage, ghost so they don't see on UAVs, and shrapnel, so you spawn in with 2 lethal, so you spawn in with 2 thermites, so you can lob 2 of them at a tank and basically take it out of the action really fast, with a rocket in its side as well, or maybe some gunshots. You may want to consider changing ghost to restock. If you find you have the ability to stay alive for a lot longer, then with restock what's happening there is your thermites and your smokes will be recharging and reappearing. So you may, I never stay alive that long, so I stick with ghost, and your tactical being the smoke grenade, very useful for making escapes, or if you need to capture a flag, you know, pop a smoke grenade. Just remember, in ground war it takes an awful long time to capture flags, so a smoke grenade will last probably a quarter of the time you need to capture a flag, so be very careful when you're doing that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to roll the gameplay. Again, it's in Tavorsk district, and you'll see right from the start I'm trying to get to the A and the B flag, trying to capture the A and the B flag, then hanging around in that area, popping my tactical insertion, so I'm constantly at that end of the map, just harassing enemies, going back to capture the B flag, going back to capture the A flag, shooting people where I can, and generally staying, in this case I'm staying on the left hand flank, staying away from the middle, because there's going to be, you know, as I said, people get very flag blind, you know, they tend to be right, I need to get to the C flag, and they're just running in that straight direction, and they're not looking off to the sides, because there's so many places to hide in ground war maps where you can just tuck yourself in, you can wait for them to go past, and then you can let them have it, and then you can move on to do the next bit. But anyway, so this is the recon strategy. This is the Tavorsk district, using the M4, capturing those flags closest to the enemy to really keep them off balance and to help your team perhaps win, but most of all to have lots of fun playing this amazing game mode. Anyway, if you've got any questions or comments, obviously stick them down in the comment section down below. If you've enjoyed the video, hit like. If you want to see more of the Emperor, subscribe. And now let's play me playing ground war, doing the recon strategy on Tavorsk district. Thank you very much. See you again soon.
Securing Echo. Securing Delta. On Charlie. This is Jaguar 3-0. Personal radar visual. Friendly IAV dropping in.
We're out.
We captured Delta. Hostiles are taking Charlie. Hostiles are taking Bravo. Hold ahead. Enemy recon on station for overwatch. We must be.
We're just getting started, mate.
Hostiles at Delta. Securing B. Friendly counter UAV active. Enemy gunship inbound. Take cover. From Bravo, stand by. We're taking Echo. We're losing control. Hostiles at Charlie. Got a personal radar global. UAV overhead. Got a UAV on station.
Losing Recon.
Losing ground. Step it up. We captured Echo.
UAV entering the AO.
Enemy cruise missile UAV dropping in. Enemy chopper gunner on approach. Need backup, Delta. Be advised, friendly gunship in the AO. Enemy UAV overhead. Hostiles at Delta. Team at Alpha. strike inbound. Hostiles at Delta, go. We're holding Echo. Friendly UAV overhead. Assist your team at sea. Taking control. Be advised, friendly precision. Friendly UAV overhead. We're crushing and stable. Enemy counter UAV online. Back up at Delta. Capture Charlie. This is proper, that's how it's done.